Well, ever since she was born, people have said that Faron should be a baby model because Tom is from Guwahati, Assam, and I am an American. Yay! So I'm Swedish, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of, I'm kind of a mutt. I have a lot in me, but mostly Swedish and Irish. And so the combination of the Indian and the white woman produced this beautiful young lady. Yes. So as she grew through life, the one thing that we both wanted to instill in her was self-confidence, because I feel that when you're self-confident, you can go far. And because she was a mixed child, so I think she grew stronger because of that and because of the support that she had at home. And at age 9, I got an envelope in the mail that was for a little local pageant. And so I said, Faron, do you want to try it? And she said, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And so anyway, we took her there, and I thought we would just do one and be done with it. She fell in love with it, and she didn't do very well at her first pageant, and she cried because she didn't do that well. Do you remember her, Tom, laying on the ground crying? So she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So anyway, after that, I don't know, within a few months, then she said, yeah, I do want to do this again. So then we did another one, but then I said, you know what, you need a pageant coach. So we took her to a pageant coach, and her first session with the pageant coach was a hot mess because she was not cooperating at all. And she would not answer this one question with Robin Gifford, Tom, at Springboard. And so I left the room because I was like, oh my goodness, this girl is driving me crazy. And Robin looked at her and she said, I have all day long to teach you, and I will stay here until you respond. And so she did. And finally she came out of her shell a little bit. And that day, Robin said to her, you would be a perfect candidate for the USA pageant. And that resonated with her and stayed with her, and that was her goal through all these years. And she had highs and lows, and then when we went to, and I would never let her dad go to any pageant because he asked too many questions. You know Tom. So finally when she won Miss Nebraska USA, I told him, I said, okay, you can go to nationals with me. So we went to nationals, and actually in the top 15 there was another Indian girl. Okay, so anyway, there was another little girl that got in the top 15, so that was really exciting. And they happened to be sitting right next to us. So as they were going through, so what they do is they do, out of 51 girls, they narrow it down to top 15. And then they take the 15 and they narrow it down to the top 5. And then they start going, okay, 4th runner-up, 3rd runner-up. And the other little girl, she didn't make it to the top 5. So then that Indian family started supporting Nebraska, Nebraska. So anyway, they got down to 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and we're like, oh my gosh, she's at the top. And so anyway, she ended up winning, and when she won, I was jumping up and down, and he was sitting there. What happened? And so, yeah. So at 18 years old, she was crowned the national winner out of 51. And very proud of her, and she is a big supporter of self-worth and teaching our youth that they are important, and it doesn't matter what they look at on the outside, it's what's inside and it's what's in your heart that's very important. And she's just done a really great job. And she's very popular in the United States because they say she's probably the best, one of the best, if not the best, Teen USA Queen. Yeah, so I brag. I know, she's telling me to shut up. Okay, done.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
What a journey. And Ma'am, I mean, obviously, you must be seeing her growing, and I mean, do you still see the same little girl, 2 year, 3 years, calling, running around?
We do.
And now the pageant over.
Yeah, it's surreal that she is, she's somewhat of a celebrity, especially in the pageant world. Everybody knows who she is. But yeah, it's surreal. The good thing is, though, is that she's very grounded. She's very humble. She has maintained her integrity, her character. She has high morals and scruples, and she loves life, so it's good. It's a good thing.
The title brings a very specific and unique aspect of growth. I think personal growth, you can grow so much in the span of just a few months, which is a very unique opportunity and experience just because you're meeting so many people and you're traveling around the entire world or the country. And I've been to so many places and met so many people that it's forced me to become adaptable and a much more personable person. I always have loved talking to people, but I think the title has forced me to really learn how to conversate with people and have interpersonal connections. And so it's an immense amount of personal growth that happens in the short year that I'm able to hold the title. It's incredible.
And she's a completely different person than she even was a year ago. I mean, she's changed so much. Her confidence has grown, and that's why we always want to touch the children with saying, I am confident, because I think that's really important. And in the States, she's talked to over about 5,000 kids throughout the United States, which is commendable. And they always seem to enjoy it, and she's sold a lot of her books that I am ABCs, and it's been fun. But I think that her growth going forward is exponential. I think she'll continue to become a strong woman. She's going back to college. She is going into probably nursing, maybe anesthesia. But she is already enrolled in fall, so once she gives up her crown, she's back in school, because I think that's really important. Education is so important.
And the organization does value our education. It was part of, it was in our contract, we had to be in college, so.
Yep.
Yeah, just a summer break.
Yep.
Tell us about that ABC thing that you wrote.
So my book, I wrote it actually for my kindergarten buddies. At the time I was a senior in high school. This was before I won Miss Nebraska. And we wrote it for them as a thank you or a goodbye, just a little book. And I knew I wanted it to be something about self-confidence, just because growing up I really struggled with my own self-worth and my self-confidence. I never felt beautiful in my skin. I never felt like my hair was good enough or that I was good enough. And so as I came through my journey of growing up and having, my family also helping me with that, and just having a support system and learning on myself how to have positive self-talk, I knew I wanted to write a book about that. And so affirmations, they're like little compliments that you give to yourself. That's what I always tell the kids every time I go somewhere. And I wrote a book of ABCs because it is for kindergartners. And so I thought, what better than ABCs and little affirmations for every letter of the alphabet? So it's, I am amazing, I am brave, I am creative, and it goes through the whole ABCs. And I basically go into these schools and hoping to instill them with values of self-confidence and self-worth, and investing into our youth and leaving them with a positive feeling in their heart. And so I read the affirmation, and then they all read it after me, and it's just really cute to see them reading their affirmation, saying it, feeling it in their heart, that they are talented, they are worthy, they're amazing and beautiful, and how they are and who they are. So.
And I think that the ABCs is also important for adults too. I think it's important. Yes. So it's not. I don't think it's just a kid's book. I mean, the way it was written was originally for children, but I think people, regardless, can always use the positive affirmations even for themselves. I think that's really important. So yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. So what is Faron, that one thing you will love to change in the world?
Oh my gosh, that's a huge question, because I feel like there are so many. But, that's a hard question. I would have to say, personally, from my experiences and my everything that I've witnessed in my life, I would love to see everyone embracing each other and more lovingness, even to ourselves, to other people. I think in our world, especially in America, there's a really division between people, regardless of what you believe. People will sometimes be mean to each other just because of our beliefs. And so I think that if there's more love, if we lead with love in everything in our life, that, you know, regardless of your circumstances in life, you can be happy. I think happiness is something that obviously everyone is chasing, and love is hand in hand with that. And so something I would love to see in the world is just more acceptance, more love, more kindness, whether that's to ourselves or to all the other people. Because I always tell the students I talk to that if you have positive love inside yourself and you love yourself, then you're going to project that to everyone that you meet, and you're going to share that with everyone you meet. And so it just makes everything so much better when we help each other out and assist each other in life. So I would love to see a lot more love in our entire world.
So, Faron, that one thing, you know, before this journey began, you know, the pageant one, can you just recall and that one hurdle maybe, or maybe some lesson in life you know, which inspired you, or which I mean, instead of breaking you, it made you?
Yeah, I actually have an example from the pageant world, if that's okay. I know that you said before, but I was 9, I don't really remember much. But I have had hurdles in my life that you kind of have to overcome and learn from those. I always say that failure, I don't like to use that word because I feel like it has a negative connotation. I use all of the things, the setbacks in my life to grow and better myself. But something I use as an example a lot of times when I talk to pageant girls and try to inspire them is that a no can be a really big redirection in your life. If you're told no at a job interview or at a pageant or at a competition or whatever it may be, it's always a redirection to something better. And the example that I use is in 2020, my last national competition before this, I think I placed 40th place out of like 60 girls. So I was really low. Like I did not do good at all, and I was heartbroken because I had worked so hard for it and I thought I performed well, but I obviously didn't, or the judges just didn't see that in me. But I didn't let that failure or setback necessarily stop me from achieving my goal. I've always wanted to become Miss USA and represent the USA organization. And so I went to Miss Teen USA with an open heart and an open mind, and going in with the mindset of growing and learning from the experience. And so that in turn helped me, I think, to be really loose throughout my pageant weekend and easygoing and free and happy and just be myself. And that inevitably is what I believe pushed me to win the crown, because being yourself is the most amazing thing that you can do, is to always be authentic and true to who you are and never try and shove yourself into a box or be like someone else. And so that is what I learned from that placement in that pageant, is that I was trying so hard to be someone else and trying to do other things, and I wasn't acting true to who I am. And so as I continue to grow in life, I just know that that specific moment in time taught me to always stay true and authentic to who you are.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, such a young age and such a mature thought. So
Thank you.
That's again, I mean, a great learning, I must say. And I mean, not going formal, you know, I am not looking for any formal answer from you. But today's experience, you know, you must have, you know, observed something which was, I mean, with you, you know, keeping with you, like, it's very personal, maybe personal. And things were going on, the program was there, the event was there, everything was managed, choreographed. But apart from that, you know, you must have seen something, you know, maybe a glitter in some kid's eye,
Yeah.
or something or the other, you know, which you will take away with you. Can you just share something with that?
Yeah, I think this was one of my most favorite appearances I've ever done. I also had a trip to Guatemala where I met some patients of this cleft organization, and they were so sweet. And this was similar to me just because the kids had so much like sparkle in their eyes almost, but they're so cute, and I can just see that they have so much to give to the world and that they can be so successful and that they really care about learning. I think that it's so amazing when I go to these schools or places and I see students that are just so ready to soak up like a sponge and learn everything. I love that they're so excited about education. I think that's so amazing in our youth, and I saw that in those kids today, and I will forever carry this experience in my heart. I thought the dancing was so amazing, but just seeing them next to me and them staring at me, I could kind of feel like I gave them maybe something to look forward to or to hope or to dream towards, and I hope that I was able to instill something like that into them, but that they have dreams and I could see that in them, that they are big thinkers. And so just hoping that they're able to achieve everything that they want because of this amazing organization and this amazing school is something that I have a hope for them, and that I will always carry this experience in my heart.
Ma'am, I mean, she was throughout, just watching you, see, with starry-eyed.
Yeah, it's so cute.
So
It was so
that's
cute.
something to,
Yeah.
Yep.
something special.
Yep.
So you had something,
I
just watching her, I mean, what was it, ma'am?
she's just very, very sincere. I think that that the organization, I don't know, it's hard to put into words because like I said, there was one little boy that was sitting there and he had a book, and every time I'd look at him, he'd be listening very intently to her and to what was going around, but he kept looking through that book, and I was like, that tugged at my heartstrings because I'm like, this child genuinely wants to learn, and you have provided that opportunity for him, and I think that's just wonderful that you're able to do that, and it's for such a great cause, and I am so glad that this organization is going to continue to grow and prosper, and I hope that with Faron's ongoing involvement in it, that maybe it does spark some interest in our youth's mind to where they know that maybe they can get out of the poverty and they can make a difference and they can not be abused or have to succumb to the pressures from the society of what it puts on them, and that it's okay to say no. I'm not okay with that. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this because I know right from wrong, and that doesn't feel right. And I feel that this organization really supports that message, and I think it's really important.
And one thing you mentioned in the car when I was traveling with you, the short distance we're traveling,
Yeah.
you mentioned the innocence part,
Yes.
the children all over the world,
Yes.
and you see that innocence.
It's a common thread when they're young. Youth is so beautiful because they don't have the prejudices. They don't have, like these children, they are thrilled if you give them a bag of chips. They're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Or in the United States, they'd be like, give it to me. I mean, like children are very, very innocent, and it's lovely to see that. It's once they grow up that they have the prejudices, that they're taught, some of the evils of the world, if you will. And I think that it's good to try and be able to turn that around at a young age and for them to look at all the positives in life, because there's so many positives in life, right? If you wake up every day, it's a positive. So I think if you can turn the negatives into a positive, even as adults, we choose how we want to react. We choose the path that we want to go, and I think it's really important to always try to be positive and remain that way. And this organization is doing a great justice, so we hope it goes on.
Yes.
So can we say this, as a conclusion, that you have preserved that innocence part in your daughter as well?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think that she does have, she's very humble. She just because she's beautiful on the outside doesn't necessarily mean that you're not real. And Faron is that, and I think she represents not only the United States, but I think India should be very proud of her heritage and where she came from. Her dad's from Guwahati, Assam, and the Assamese people are they're very good, very nice people. We noticed when we were here in 2008, I think it was, and then we got to Assam and the people were so kind. And again, I think they're more innocent, I think that they are truer to life. And when we traveled up to Kaziranga, it was interesting. There were little tiny women with these big vats of tar on their head, working so hard, but they had a smile on their face. You know, I mean, they didn't have a dime to their name, but because they were in the countryside and they loved the country and they loved the environment, that they had such great hearts. They were not spoiled by material things, you know, whereas I think a lot of people do get spoiled by material things. And thank goodness she has been able to keep and maintain that. I mean, she likes her material things too, but she's very sincere, and she also has that in her heart. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Coconut Man. Mm-hmm. Tell the story of the Coconut Man. Do you remember that?
I mean, slightly. I just remember going out every single day, and he would put me on his shoulders, and he would take me to go get.
House.
Yes, this was at my grandma's house.
My grandpa's house.
In Guwahati.
In Guwahati.
And he would take me on his shoulders to go get a fresh coconut every day, and then he would like cut the coconut and put a straw in it and then hand it up to me. I was up on his shoulders, and that was one of my favorite things. I was only 4 years old, but I do remember that.
He wouldn't let her walk anywhere. Like, he had to carry her. He was a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
I was a lot bigger than him, and I'm like, and he loved her. He would run and wait for her. Everywhere.
He was my buddy.
He was your buddy.
He was my buddy.
And then you got to ride the elephant.
Yes, I remember a little bit of that about that. I just remember that I wanted to be at the front of the elephant. I wanted to steer the elephant at 4 years old, and they put me in the middle for safety reasons. I was so mad. I was like, "This is stupid. I want to be in the front of the elephant." But it was really cool from what I can remember. And
Remember the one-horn rhinos?
no.
So that was a story too.
But they have those at the Omaha Zoo. We have the world's best zoo in Nebraska, fun fact. And they do have the Indian one-horn rhinos there, so I get to see them. Not in their environment in India, but hopefully this trip will be able to make it out and see. For the trip,
For the trip.
I want to see the Taj Mahal.
Right.
I do slightly remember that when I was 4.
And
And I want to ride an elephant. As long as they're treated right. The elephants.
yeah.
How majestic it will be.
Hopefully we get some good pictures.
Yeah.
Of the Taj, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun.
We need to take
Thank
him.
you.
We
I
need to
know.
take him with us.
I know. You can come. Record everything. Yes.
So we had a lot of fun. We had moments.
We did.
We
I showed
did.
pictures. You love them.
Yes.
And we connected. Now things are,
Yeah. Mashish, is that how you say it?
Ashish.
Ashish. A with an A? Because you said M.
I'm sorry.
Ashish?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ashish. We're,
Okay.
we're terrible.
You ready?
We're terrible at saying Indian names. Yes.
Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to
Ashish
Yes.
from Creative Brothers and
Yeah.
Creative Bros.
Yeah,
We had
bros.
so much
Bro
fun.
power.
Yes. So he was there taking all the media at the school, and he captured the most beautiful moments in photos.
Yes.
I actually asked him to airdrop them to me right when I saw them because I knew I needed those.
Yeah.
But they are incredible, and he's such a genuine and amazing person. I had so much fun.
Yes.
And such a true heart, and also just such a passion for the industry and passion for others. You can see it ringing so true in everything that he does, and that he has a passion for photography as well, a very unique human.
Yes, and I think that his background, traveling around the world, has helped to open his eyes to just a variety of different ways to look at people and to appreciate people and to bring out the best in people. And his heart is pure.
It is.
We saw that.
And I wish I could take him everywhere with me because he's so good at his
we
job.
do.
And I need someone doing my media like
Yeah,
that.
she does. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Thank you.
So nice of you. Thank you.